definitely Burgum.
I think that Marco Rubio comes off too much like a robot.
Tim Scott had straight Christian sex and married a woman to try to become vice president, and it still wasn't enough.
People like Matt Taibbi obviously started to, just freak out about this.
Saw an ad on Matt Taibbi's Substack for the Adult Depend undergarments. So it's actually been the biggest boost for them since Infinite Jest. What up, everybody? Live.
What up, everybody?
What up? What up? What up? Oh, what up? You're getting the chopped and screwed version. All right, the DJ screw, all screwed up. It's Circle Jerk America. What the fuck is up, children of the corn? It's the return of the voice inside your head. Circle Jerk America. How we doing, gang? What's up, Griffin?
Yeah, that's right. The face inside is right beneath the skin. Welcome back. Welcome back to you guys. Welcome back, America. We got a lot to cover today.
Yeah, we got a
America's
great show
listening
for everyone today. What's up, everyone? We are live today. This is not a pre-recorded episode that we're premiering. We are live, so hope you guys enjoy that. Usually we do record these, but always fun to hang out with the community and chill on a Sunday evening. So it's going to be a fun stream. And yeah, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Trump VP, tier is whittled down even further. We have the top three.
Allegedly, he's come to a decision. Apparently, he already knows up here. The public, we don't know. Him, he knows.
Yeah,
and he's giving it a lot of thought.
It's great. There's only one rose left. We've gone through all the roses, and now we're here.
Everyone wanted to be my vice president. There were many applicants, many very qualified applicants. Lots of very, very qualified people. All the qualified people, they were the most qualified.
Also, super excited to get into the attack on Stonehenge. I know we talked a little bit about that on the
vandalism,
Zach, but I'm genuinely opinion, Griffin, to get your take on the Stonehenge attack and whether or not these forms of protests are even remotely effective, or if they do just make the climate movement look bad. I'm genuinely interested in your opinion.
They're effective at making right wingers shit their pants, which is why I love them.
Yeah, the diaper industry relies on big rock formations being defaced.
I saw an ad on Matt Taibbi's Substack for the Adult Depend undergarments. So it's actually been the biggest boost for them since Infinite Jest. So they're super excited about that.
Yeah, use promo code TWITFILES. Diapers.com. Remember that drama with Amazon? We won't talk about that. Let's keep going.
We're gonna talk other shit, not diapers.
We're not talking diapers. We've got a few other stories that'll make you crap your pants. Do you guys see this 9/11 video?
Bro, that shit was crazy. You sent that to me a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I sent it to you. I sent to you way before the public had seen it. Yeah,
I believe so. Then we sat on it, and we squandered an opportunity. Griffin was like, "Oh, you guys could have been breaking news guard, but instead your lazy asses got stoned and decided to talk about."
So we'll be watching that. We'll be analyzing that. I'm going to educate Zach and Gavin here on Dr. Disrespect. There's been another doctor in the news. Another doctor.
I thought this was going to be like a rapper's delight, kind of like, this is an 80s guy you haven't heard of. That's Dr. Disrespect. Yeah. I'm like, this sounds like an 80s rapper.
It does,
He should have a quote hanging from a
gonna
chain.
Sound like this when he's on the mic. He's Mr. Disrespect, and he's gonna make you right. What up, everybody? We're hipping and hopping. I'm gonna do some grocery shopping. Like,
I'm Disrespect, and I'm super mean. I'm messaging the Twitch teens.
I love girls when they're underage. Follow me on my Twitter page.
My Twitter page. Follow me on x.com. Don't tell your dad. Don't tell your mom. So, I said Dr. Disrespect, and I explained for 10 seconds who Dr. Disrespect was, and Zach instantly was like, it's a pedophile, right?
You don't call yourself Dr. Disrespect unless you want to fuck children. You're on the spectrum, right? And I could tell immediately he dialed it all the way up. There's you want to have sex with horses, and we're all like, that's weird, but I guess we'll live with it. Then there's I've got pictures of animated children who are in the nude, and we're like, all right, we're not cool with it. And then we've got whatever energy I was suspecting from this guy, because I already knew it was going to involve the no pants dance and somebody under 12.
Yeah, I'm excited to get those details too. I don't know anything about Dr. Disrespect, but looking forward to the details. I don't really know anything about this guy.
Gavin's looking forward to the details.
I'm very much so, yeah.
Tell me
Let's do a
about this
deep
predator.
dive.
I'm revoking your guys' streamer cards because you need to respect history.
Here's what's nice about the youngins these days. We don't have to respect history. We're rewriting history. This is our own history, boomer.
We also wanted to talk Walmart surge pricing, your favorite box stores, folks.
Oh, yeah. The Waltons trying to kill the poor once again. This is their new plot, everybody. You know them. They sit around in their mansions in Arkansas. They give a little money to the university, learn. The poor folks over there feel well-to-do. And then they go back to plotting and scheming. It's like Duck Hunt for them. You know, the Waltons are like... The poor are getting nice and fat. It's time to go hunting, you know, and how do we starve them now? What do we do to make their lives, you know, more miserable? And they've decided that the poor people of America deserve surge grocery pricing.
That's right. So we're excited to get into all of that. And then, you know, maybe if we have time, maybe I'll share a little field trip that I took recently that I sent pictures to you guys. I went to a little teaser. I went to a little museum in Manhattan to showcase some exhibits.
The Nova Museum?
Perhaps, yes. Perhaps.
This man's very into premier bagels and lox. Okay,
I'm into new museums.
He wanted the finest cured salmon, Nova only, the Scotia finest, and he's going to tell us all about the premier experience he had.
I go to all the pop-ups. I go to the ice cream Instagram one. I do all of them. So we're going to talk about that. But I mean, I think, you know, let's talk Trump VP. I mean, he's announced that he's picked a VP. I think we have sound on that. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah.
I think we've got it right here. If anybody throws it up on screen, this is our first live circle jerk. Did you guys want me to pull it up? I'm sorry.
I can find it. I had a different audio piece, but I can quickly grab.
I think I got
one.
something. Let's see what happens when I do this.
Boom.
Keep it your way, baby. Win. What do you like this, VP? I like you to run the whole country the way you did.
Into a global pandemic.
He's asking people. He's taking feedback.
That's a true populist right there.
So I think somewhere in this clip, I can't find it exactly, but he says he's picked a vice presidential candidate.
Do you think he decided it like they do at like the Laugh Shack? You know, where it's like whoever gets the loudest applause when he says their name, he like has Ivanka walk out in a bathing suit and hold up a fucking, you know, laugh meter. And, you know, they're like, all right, give up a little applause for little Marco. And then little Marco runs out and he waves. And then they just clap and cheer, you know, at Mar-a-Lago.
I wish it was that much of a show. Trump is normally a showman. I do wish there was more of a show here.
That's been the setback this time around for sure.
I'd like to blame the court system. I'd like to blame the deep state court system that's pulled Trump off the road.
I blame the mainstream media, mate.
Okay. Yeah. And
Let's take a look.
I'll shake on that.
Let's take a look here, guys. Apparently, according to reports, Trump has whittled it down to a top three.
That's right.
Being Mr. J.D. Vance, Doug Burgum, and Marco Rubio, which is still
Burgum.
crazy to me. I agree. It's definitely
Burgum.
Burgum has the most money out of these guys. I think he has like 100 million or something like that. We looked it up on a recent stream. Trump needs help with his legal bills. He needs help with the campaign in general in a financial sense. So I think it's going to be Burgum, but not just because of that. I also genuinely think that Burgum is the most likable, at least of these three. I think JD Vance comes off like too much of a weirdo. I think that Marco Rubio comes off too much like a robot, too much like a just fake politician. Doug Burgum, although he is super rich and elitist and all that stuff, he does kind of have that Joe Biden thing where it's like, even though you're a member of the literal elite, you still kind of, you know, act folksy and like a normal American, and he pulls it off better than a lot of other politicians to his credit,
especially for the amount of money he has. You're right about that.
Yeah. So I think that Burgum will be the pick.
Chill. His tone and his vibe is just so chill. Like Doug Burgum is like, he's like the dad at the high school party who like lets his daughter have the party at his house because he's like, oh, I just rather you guys drink at home and be safe. And then he like goes to Costco and like hooks the whole basement up with like,
when he gets back, she's getting reamed out by a dude in her bed, in his own bed. Yeah.
Anyway, let's take a look here at some of the past statements from these potential running mates. I love this old JD Vance look.
Vance. This looks like almost AI. It's so terrible.
Yeah, he really took a cue from Ted Cruz, I think, and was like, I'm going to need a beard if I'm going to be taken seriously as an alpha male. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the deal. People who look like, the way they look, they can take a cue from me. Hey, listen, it's like sunglasses for your face. You know what I mean? You need all the help you can get. You know what I mean?
He needs to be put in like a full face mask at this point. I want to see him in the Hamas hoodie.
He comes out in a keffiyeh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is from 2016. Damn. Charlie Rose before he was canceled, I believe, right?
So Ozempic makes your beard grow? Like, what's going on?
It was Ozempic and biotin.
Yeah. Anyway, this is how these guys sounded not too long ago.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked it. I think that it's important that you're judged by the company you keep, and you just wouldn't do business with him. No, I wouldn't.
What we are dealing with here, my friends, is a con artist.
Ugh.
He is a con artist. Friends, do not let friends vote for con artists.
But Marco Rubio is like, it reminds me of like the penguin from Madagascar, but not the cool one. Like, there's just something he's like Republican soy. You know, he's just so lame.
Yeah, I've said it for a while that he was like the Republicans' kind of response to Obama. They were like, let's find a young, kind of well-spoken, non-white freshman senator, or what, elevate him to the top. It'll totally replicate the Obama thing. But Marco Rubio's not inspiring. He just comes off too polished. He's not, he doesn't like inspire passion and support.
Also, Google Marco Rubio speedboat scandal if anybody's looking for an interesting afternoon read. He's like simultaneously so cliche, right? Like Miami, I'm a Republican, pro finance, energy, but at the same way, he never was able to pivot to Daddy Trump lane, which is why I don't think he has a shot at getting this VP thing. I think that Doug Burgum is going to add a level of seriousness, whereas Marco Rubio, one, isn't a sycophantic supporter. Also, did we notice that it seemingly he eliminated Tim Scott? I just want to do my victory lap. You guys were pushing that motherfucker so hard, and who did I say? I said he was going to teach us how to Dougie instead of having Tim Scott. You guys were like, Tim Scott's he's a lock. I mean, he's definitely not going to take any attention away from Donald Trump. Definitely, he already got married, so he took care of all those gay allegations. I really think that it's going to be Tim Scott. So I just want everybody to know, not only was I one state away from predicting a perfect electoral college last time around, but I'm also pretty dang sure I had Kristi Noem early, but I still maintain that she would have gotten it had it not been for the dog thing. She really shot herself right there, and her dog, unfortunately. She threw her chance at being a VP in a gravel pit, if you know what I'm saying. After that, I went right to teach me how to Dougie, and I'm doing my victory lap right now a little early. I guarantee you all, mark it in stone, etch it in the stars. It's going to be Doug Burgum. Anyway,
Tim Scott had straight Christian sex and married a woman to try to become vice president, and it still wasn't enough. So I'm just saying, Zach, don't ever feel any pressure to change, because it's not going to help. You have to be true to yourself. And so unfortunately, Tim Scott has humanely euthanized his girlfriend. And
thrown her in a gravel pit.
That's $50,000 you won't get.
It is going to be funny to see if they keep being seen together after the VP process is over.
He
Also,
just cuts her a fat check and moves on with his life. He's like, get the annulment started.
One more quick Trump clip I wanted to quickly play too. He actually weighed in on some of the leftier options for president. Apparently, he had some kind words for Doctors Cornel West and Jill Stein.
Oh, these are some doctors that we like. These are the good doctors.
The good doctor.
So we got
rest in peace.
From Rasmussen, and it was very. They also
he was talking to Rasputin.
With the other
Wait, can you start it over? It's kind of quiet.
Rah, rah, Rasputin.
Trump.
So we got this poll last night from Rasmussen, and it was very. They also did it with Kennedy and with the other ones in there. Cornel West. He's one of my favorite candidates, Cornel West. And I like
why? Cornel West just qualified in Michigan.
I like her very much. You know why?
Yeah, right.
Yep, I did see that.
She
good
takes
doctors
from them. He takes 100%. Kennedy's probably 50-50, but he's a fake.
This guy's gold right now. See, he's gold right now. That's the thing. When he can channel this back in on the campaign trail, this is why Trump has a shot, right? We were talking about this the other day. It's not 100% that the polls are going to sustain themselves, right? There's definitely a chance that as we get closer to election day, people decide, okay, fuck it, I don't want to see Trump in office. But there's also a reality, a very legitimate potential outcome where people see Donald Trump back out there. He's doing rallies. He's engaging with the public. He's turning people out. And he swings people because Joe Biden is going to do none of that.
He's busy being the president of the United States.
He's too busy being the
time
president.
to travel around the country like a circus from town to town.
Right, exactly. That's not what any president's ever done. They've never, given speeches or, shaken hands and kissed babies. Of course not.
He's trying to end a war in the Middle East.
This man is negotiating a settlement for 100 years conflict right now, and it's far more important to him than his own
Trump's
legacy.
doing a good way at contrast, and he's like, Cornel West is going to screw Biden in Michigan. That's a good doctor. RFK, worm in his brain, bad doctor, not my doctor. And that's all you need to hear, I think. Not enough people have said, RFK Jr., you're not a doctor, and I think that's good.
This man, he doesn't
Okay, but yeah, I do think the Burgum's going to be the pick.
And what's funny
with here first, folks.
To your point, Gavin, it's like something about the earliness of this sort of announcement makes me feel even more like it's Burgum just in this moment because of like the financial stuff, but like also just like the quick vibe check at this moment that like you haven't really heard anyone in the VP race like even like give an interview or like make a statement in like the last week or two. So I feel like everyone already found out they didn't get it or something. And with Burgum, it's just like he doesn't take any attention away from Trump, but he's like if Pence was cool.
Was more likable. I was about to say he's a more likable Pence.
Pence was like not a fundamentalist and just was like vibed so hard. Like when I talk like Pence,
if he'd grown up in one of the other 49 states besides Indiana, there could have been something redeemable about the guy, but instead he was a Hoosier and he couldn't shoot hoops. So there was nothing for him to offer the world.
Yeah, I just like want to rip my skin off when I see Pence, but like Burgum, it's like a warm bath, I could do the whole, like, what was that old Victorian way they would kill people in the warm bath? Like I would let Burgum do that to me. Like that's how
I mean boiling people alive.
No, they did some weird thing with like needles. Someone in chat will probably know. Yeah.
One more thing on the Burgum question. This could potentially, dim the support around this pick if right wingers really run with this narrative. The more like America first, anti Bill Gates right wing. A lot of people are pointing out that Doug Burgum has had like some associations with Bill Gates over the years. I forget what it was, but I think he like sold one of his companies to Windows or some shit like that. I forget. And then apparently he also authorized the sale of a bunch of North Dakota farmland to Bill Gates, who owns a shocking amount of farmland.
Doesn't he own like half the size of Texas worth of farmland in America or
probably
something?
More than that. He probably owns like half the
that's probably
country.
From 10 years ago. Yeah,
but as you can see here, and by the way, look at this fresh style from Mr. Burgum back in the 90s, I think.
That guy looks like he's about to teach you Freud and then fuck your girlfriend.
He looks like a cartoon.
He definitely drives a Prius to work. If he's not taking his bicycle, he has a leather satchel, elbow pads for sure. Anyway.
Yeah, he's definitely kind of giving a little bit of Indiana Jones here. I like him. He's great. This is it. This is good. I like him. This is amazing. And with Bill Gates, I think he's just gonna call Bill Gates out.
Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry.
He's got to disown Bill Gates, and then he's got to.
No, dude, he doesn't have to own. No, that's the thing.
He's got to disown it.
No, he doesn't. He's got to double down. Have you learned nothing from Donald Trump? This man has to say,
Bill Gates is a great
I have friends. I have many friends. I spend lots of time. I'm a powerful man. I'm a very rich man. My President Donald Trump over here, he's a very rich man. We're very rich men. We spend a lot of time around very rich and powerful people. We're very rich and powerful people who are very rich and have a lot of power. We work with one
I
another.
like the way that RFK was like, I've had dinner right before the murders. I hung out with OJ. I was dining.
He was my waiter. He was my favorite waiter. I went to the restaurant every night. I loved the way that he served my Salisbury steak medium rare. I mean, most places won't do it. They'll say, "Why do you want that Salisbury steak? We're an Italian restaurant." He says, "Don't worry, I've got ground beef and gravy." I said, "This is an American institution. This is a man who gets it." I was staying at Sharon Tate's house the night of the murders, and I had no idea. Polanski myself. I watched it. I held the camera while she cried. I did hold the camera, but I was misquoted. I was not. I held the camera, but I did not move the bodies, and I don't know who moved.
Speak up, sir. You're whispering.
Yeah. Anyway, a lot of people on the MAGA side of things, they are worried that the deep state is trying to get their preferred pick in there as Trump's running mate, so they can take out Donald Trump. And crown Mr. Bill Gates Jr. or whatever. So I do think that some conservatives will be pissed off about this. I'm not going to lie.
Aren't those the ones that are already going to vote for RFK though?
No, I think that there's like a significant faction of the kind of like the Candace Owens faction that is like really hoping that someone like Vivek Ramaswamy or someone who's just like made the whole like America first extremism their brand. And Doug Burgum really hasn't. I mean, he's obviously refused to criticize Donald Trump other than that one very mild instance where he said, "I'm not going to do business with him" or something like that. But he really hasn't criticized Trump too much, but he still doesn't come off like an extremist like Vivek or even JD Vance does to a lot of people. That's at least my read on the situation.
Well, JD Vance got with the fucking program. If you compare his rhetoric today to 2016, the last 8 years have been a whirlwind. He changed more than his facial hair, right? I mean, it's crazy too. He basically just got down on all fours, just like Marco Rubio, just like Chris Christie did before him, just like his forefathers in the Republican Party. They realized the Trump takeover was legitimate. Yep. It's here to stay. And he basically built his entire new brand around, his post-hillbilly elegy blow up brand around being MAGA. He just was. He realized that's where the Republican Party base was. He was going to blithely
call his
him
campaign ad where he was like, "Yeah, I'm racist. I'll say it." Or something like that.
I don't remember that, but that sounds right. Honestly, I appreciate him cutting to the chase a little bit.
He was like, "They're going to call me racist, and sure, let him say it. I don't care." Like, it was something like that.
Yeah, I'll wear the hood. I'll wear the hood at the grocery store.
Yeah, JD Vance sucks. I don't think he's likable at all. I get very bad vibes from Vance, and I don't think he would really be a great pick. But yeah, it's gonna be Burgum. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Well, solved.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit. Let's surge into our next topic, everybody. Let's talk a little bit about the Wally world. Let's talk about the Walton family. Let's talk about America's supermarket. The reason you don't have a grocery store locally owned and operated
or
unless it's twice. Yeah, or a Main Street at all. Frankly, Gavin, do you want to go ahead and throw this up for more perfect union? Walmart is planning a trial run with getting rid of price tags, price stickers. Walmart is replacing the stickers with electronic shelf labels across 2,300 stores. Only fucking Walmart can be like, "We're just getting our feet wet, everyone. We're doing it in 2,300 stores across the country. It'll be your neighborhood and yours." And guess what? They're like, yeah, that's only like 4% of our fucking businesses right now. It's crazy, which could be a precursor to surge pricing. If you guys remember, what was it, like fucking Wendy's or McDonald's or some
it was
stupid
Wendy's
shit?
because I got a free Impossible Whopper because Burger King was like, "We're not going to surge price. In fact, we're offering free Whoppers today."
Burger King is like, "We're so desperate for tax write-offs this year. We're just trying to rack up as many L's as possible. We're going out for the old Red Lobster." You know what I mean? We're just giving it endless shrimp until it's all over.
Yeah, anyway, this is pretty funny. Although, to be honest, like if they wanted to do surge pricing, I think they could probably accomplish it even without the electronic thing. Like they could just change the fucking labels on the.
That's labor. You have to pay a poor bastard to do that.
I guess that's
Well,
true.
they just can't do it as fast is the thing. It's like they want to do it like when it's hot outside, you know,
Ice cream's up.
based on demands of stuff. They're like, we can make the water more expensive. They're like a Morton Joe is running Walmart now and like pushing the levers based on the temperature outside, which is a good sign. I like this. I like this a lot.
You know, they're gonna do like a Taco Tuesday, and then the next day, all of the Charmin is like twice as expensive.
The thing that's happening right now is there's a very clear desire for these companies and all sorts of fields to be as evil as possible. But a lot of the times the technology still isn't there yet. Like, for instance, I think Amazon had grocery stores recently that had no employees. And the goal was that the like AI security cameras would see what you're walking out with or like scan it. And that turned out to be like a huge snafu that fucked them up really bad because it like wasn't counting things correctly.
I mean, even if it did catch you stealing,
I would
what's it
steal
going to
so much from that place, and it would be my honor.
I mean, what are they? Even if they do catch you on the camera,
it's
are they going to send
duty to try and buy?
Zach would just start living there. Zach would just put up a fucking tent and
at a
occupy
certain
it.
point, I'm gonna eat during while the time. If there's no employee in there, how fast do they get? Do you think Hey, I'll tell you what. I live and work every single day, 18th and Grand Boulevard, downtown Kansas City. You think on your fucking life you call the KCPD and be like, this guy ate 4 donuts in my grocery store. What are you going to do about it? They're going to be like, eat a bag of dicks, hire security. Your AI ain't kicking my ass out. I'm taking a kombucha and a coffee to go. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, the Amazon stuff was a fucking total failure because I guess most people do approach convenience stores like Zach. And
100%.
that's fair. They deserve it. But the thing is like, so I feel similarly about this story where it's like, so wait, grocery stores are all of a sudden going to have all of this new like electronic cost like on the fronts, and then like people are going to have to manage and update them without it like breaking. Like, it sounds like a huge snafu, but like what these companies are saying is like, we want to kill you, we just can't do it yet. We're trying to figure out how to do it. Like,
Buffy.
Yeah,
we want to put you in a little box, but we
there's
just
too
haven't
many
made the
things at
box.
Walmart to have a little electronic fucking price tag for every single
Bezos
one of
is
them.
working
like,
on it, bro.
A fuck ton of items, and they're all getting moved around and shit. Like, yeah, that I
And
agree.
and they're also trying to like charge based on based on like, oh, we know this guy will buy this. So like when Zach walks into Walmart, like all of the like extra small condoms just skyrocket in price. So it's like the thing is just I don't know. We'll see where this goes. My smell test on a lot of this stuff, including a lot of these like AI inventions, is that a lot of them seem like too expensive and like too early.
Yeah, for in case anybody's wondering, all those small condoms are so that Griffin can fuck me in the ass every single day that we try and record our podcast.
So Zach can come in them and then I can eat them. And the big condoms are too much plastic.
He has a latex allergy. he has to get the Whole Foods 365 condom brand.
I need it to be vegan. I need it to be
spermicide is an irritant, babe. Just let me
I need to be cruelty free. All the cruelty is happening to me. So yeah, that's
you were born with a micro penis. That's very cruel.
I do want to talk a little bit about this Disney expose because this I don't, you know, I'm interested in your guys' opinion, but it almost seems too good to be true for the right wingers who I'm down to segue into that, yeah, because like I said, bro, when I saw this, I was expecting it to be, you know, interesting and potentially even damning. But this guy, it almost sounds like he's reading a script of exactly.
Wait, is this your first time seeing us smoking on that Keef pack video? Like, they're all staged like this. They're all like insane. Like shaky cam for no reason. Like the camera could just be sitting there, but they're like always like fucking zooming and shaking it around as if they're in like a tornado while they're getting this information. And then like the actor's always like, yeah. And then they told me that like only black people deserve money. Like,
yeah. So you think this is all fake? Like you don't think these are like it's a real sting?
Oh, you know what? I haven't watched this one yet, and I am always open to
let's marinate on this for a little bit. Let's DEI Disney. You know what I mean?
Apparently, this guy got taken out on a date But the date he was on was actually, or the date he was with rather, was actually an undercover James O'Keefe. What's it called?
Keef boy. They call themselves
Project Veritas. Do they still call it that, or is it now just the O'Keefe?
It's the Keefus Ephus, you know, the infamous.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's this Disney senior vice president and team lead of 20th century or 20th century television, whatever, the Walt Disney Company. That's such a conglomerate now that there's like they have to have 10 subtitles under
they
their
own it.
name. Yeah, pretty much every fucking corporation now is like a subsidiary of Disney.
ESPN, Marvel, Lucasfilms.
Yep. Anyway, he's about to tell right wingers they affirm every single worldview they have about corporate America. Disney has fallen. I just canceled my tickets to see Inside Out 2 tonight. This is a shot, guys.
Certainly, there have been times where, there's no way we're hungry or whatnot.
Just kind of unspoken.
There are times when it's spoken, but
how would they say it?
There's no way we're hungry or whatnot. They say
like straight to you, or okay.
They'd be very careful how they message that to agents. According to
what's actually happening here is this guy's just salty that he got passed up on a promotion, and he's on a date where he's like, "It's because I was white and a male."
You know, in this day and age, a white man can be fired for just about anything. Do you know what's so funny? I'm a bartender. I brought that up earlier. The other day, I was listening to a guy. Me and my girlfriend were sitting there making eye contact. I'm working. She's sitting on the other side of the bar. There's another dude who's sitting there, and he's trying to explain to this woman. She was like, "Didn't you work at the Almeas, which is this like coffee shop that Gavin and I have been to on occasion in the River Market in Kansas City?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that just didn't work out. One of my coworkers just like told my boss that I made her really uncomfortable, so they fired me for no reason, basically." And I'm sitting there like fucking dying inside because this guy's like telling this to a woman he's, I think, on like a Tinder date with, and just like completely tone deaf. And you could kind of see the like darkness come out. Fucking take a little. Anyway.
Yeah, if you Google my name, you're going to see a bunch of articles about like allegations and stuff, but it was nothing.
Hey, bro, if this dumb bitch emails you or hits you up on the gram saying that I like put something in her drink or whatever, like she's a psycho, bro. I would never do something like that. I'm a feminist.
That guy at the bar was James O'Keefe, and he was doing a new documentary.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is like a 20-minute lengthy.
Oh yeah, no, we cannot watch this whole thing. I'll shoot myself in the head. I mean,
no.
Yes. Like, are they talking about like? Yes. Are they talking? Yes. Let's. If that may not have been a super chat, but it was super to me.
It was super meaningful to everybody that's ever interacted with me.
The thing is like with all this stuff, it's like, are they talking about the actors? Are they talking about like the employees at these agencies? And it's like also like this feels
this
like
is why I'm allowed to say retarded, because people talk about me like this when I fuck up and I'm an asshole.
This is like, yeah, and that's why I'm allowed to say it too. He's so mad at it that I get a little bit of the hall pass
because he's had to suffer all of the wake of my neurodivergence. This man,
yeah, it's like telling like the of mice like and men thing. It's like, oh, what you think like. Who's Lenny's friend, the main character? Like he's not allowed to say the word.
George?
Yeah, George isn't allowed to say retarded.
Yeah. At least I'm not an illiterate fucking swine. I went to 8th grade and read of Mice and Men.
It was
just watch the SNL parody. It was this man's now shitting on Steinbeck on this fucking Vanguard this Circle Jerk America podcast.
Yo, that shit was they not like us.
Traitor. I knew you were from this guy reeks of Orange County. I could have told you this guy was from California. Anyway, Gavin's trying to desperately wants us to get back to the segment. We're supposed to be
I'm an old man in the sea. I'm an old man in the sea, motherfucker.
Oh, that's a actually boring book, but
is that Hemingway? Hemingway sucks.
No, Old Man in the Sea. I bang. Let's go. All right, what's next?
Yeah,
oh no. Yeah. So I mean, I was making a point, but then Zach like decided to like do a Google Maps Street View explanation of his neighborhood or whatever the fuck he was talking about. So with this stuff, it's like acting or employing like all this stuff feels like 10 years ago. Like, haven't we already kind of reverted back to like majority like white people being cast? It seems like the only place where they're still like pushing it really hard is like in the Star Wars stuff. Like, and
I
like
think he's talking about corporate positions because there's a point in this video where he goes on to bitch about like how he would have been the obvious choice to ascend the corporate ladder, but because he's a white male, he got passed on. That's basically the gist of it, which is why I don't actually think that even if this is real, it's any sort of evidence. Like clearly this is a bitter dude who got passed up on a promotion. And
that's why Gavin and I have been more fortunate. We were born in the wrong generation. You know what I mean? Everybody hates the white man now.
But that being said, I also I wouldn't be terribly shocked if there is some truth to the fact that Disney, does just kind of virtue signal to that extent when it comes to their hiring practices. It is pretty obvious if you watch Disney entertainment lately that is one of their priorities, is like making sure that everyone knows how inclusive and diverse they are and stuff like that, which is whatever. But, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't necessarily care, but it's pretty funny.
I mean, my favorite thing that I saw during Pride Month, which is still happening, was Marvel posted just like all of the colors of the rainbow, but just like from different parts of their movie because they don't have any gay characters in their movies. So it's like, this shit isn't that woke. Calm down, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of does lead naturally into Dr. Disrespect. If I may teach you a little bit about this doctor for a second. I mean, with Dr. Disrespect here, he was this OG streamer, and like I was explaining it to you guys, and I can't believe you guys haven't heard of this guy. I mean, maybe because he got kicked off Twitch.
He's irrelevant. Also, I've never been on Twitch. I'm a YouTuber, bruh.
Well, he moved to YouTube because he got banned from Twitch.
But if I'd seen this guy's profile picture, I would have told you for sure he was a pedophile, but I got it even just off the moniker itself.
Has this guy been found guilty? We have to remember that we live in a country where people are presumed
litigious.
Innocent, Zach.
Yeah. Well, this is all alleged. Okay.
And the Joe Dirt cosplay is appreciated. I think that he added the Billy Ray Cyrus allure to a fading character and brought that apparently to the people of Twitch at an early time. So you're right. You know what I'm saying? His achy breaky heart will. Yeah.
So he got kicked off of Twitch for the messaging of underage fans or something.
Here, I'm showing the original tweet here that started this whole debacle. I'm presenting it. Okay, so basically, in like the pandemic, he was like one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, and then like one day he just like disappeared, and basically it was got banned off Twitch, and it was this huge story, and everyone was like what's going on
of Twitch?
It was like they're like, how does and it was this insane thing where it was such a big story that we're like, surely it's going to leak at some point. Surely the news is going to come out or whatever about this. And then nothing ever happened. And he just kept streaming on YouTube. But then randomly this Twitter account posted and said that he got banned because he got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product, which is just a terrible sentence. Twitch Whispers product. That's not where you want to do a crime.
Wait, is that like their messaging app or something?
Yeah, it's I guess their DM stuff. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. So yeah, that was the big reveal. Shocking, I guess, but you guys weren't shocked at all. You called it from the get-go, huh?
Did he talk about politics or was it just gaming and stuff?
No, so he was like one of the first streamers to like turn think of streaming into like more of a character or persona. And so like he kind of came in with this like kind of like wrestler persona to play lots of like shooter games. I definitely like watched him for years because he wasn't like the best, but he was like entertaining or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
I try and focus in on that in my own pitiful career.
Yeah.
Not the
be
best
entertaining or being a pedophile.
Not the best, but entertaining. That's what it's mildly entertaining. Probably what they'll put on my tombstone.
But Gavin, you had it up earlier. This was his like reply or whatever. He says, "Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch. But I just need to say what I can since this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal. No wrongdoing was found. And I was paid. Elden Ring Monday."
So is there any actual, like, other than that one tweet we just put on screen, like what's the proof that he was involved in this inappropriate relationship? Is there any, or is it just based off of that one person?
It is based off that one person and then Zach's intuition.
And then also the fact that I could take one look. Now, again, I'm a prison abolitionist, so I've always rejected the countless offers I've had to use my ability for a kind of court system, justice system, ACAB. I happen to have the ability. I don't know where it comes from. I'm not about to sell you any voodoo magic or religion, but I have a gift. It doesn't come with any monetary upswing. But I can look at a motherfucker and know. Do you want to diddle the children? Are you a pederast? Are you a fucking no good? That's Donnie Darko right there.
I thought that was Big Lebowski.
Oh, is that Big Lebowski?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what it is. I was like, where did that come from? Anyway, do you want to put your finger up the bunghole of a child?
Oh
I think I've got a radar for that. It's like a spidey sense. And I got it the first time I ever saw a picture of Jeffrey Epstein. Nobody had to explain it to me.
It's also by far the most common crime, I feel like, committed by streamers. Like, whenever a streamer goes down, it's always like they were talking to a 15-year-old, and you're just like,
that's because
all
that's
right.
the only people that have time to be watching all these streams. It's like designed to be.
Yeah, I guess if you're like a construction worker, you have less access to like children watching video game streams and stuff, so that makes sense.
Yeah, like at least when you like become like when someone's like a famous actor, like they've probably been a certain level of charismatic or attractive their whole life. But like most of these streamer guys are awful, awkward, weird people that are suddenly famous in their late 20s to fucking late 30s, and then all their fans are like, I guess, children, and then they're all I mean, not great, but it's
not
like
great, folks. Don't try it at home.
Not nice. Dr. Disrespect, you're not off the VP list.
You're fired.
You are fired.
Twitch.
But I want to hear, Gavin, I want to hear your take on this oil stuff.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the Stop Oil protest. Oops, sorry, Griffin.
Yeah, get out of here, Griffin.
No, please. It was a relief.
Yeah, so as you guys might have heard, and this was hilarious too, because the official Stonehenge UK Twitter account got in on the action, posting some fun emojis to express their horror at the sight we all witnessed. Yeah.
World Trade Center goes down, a sad face emoji.
And here you can see these Just Stop Oil protesters. I believe this is the same group responsible for some of the infamous like cans of tomato soup on the Starry Night kind of protests, stuff like that you guys know and love. And for the record, those paintings that they damaged, quote unquote, I'm pretty sure most of them are actually behind like
they're all behind glass
layer. They weren't actually destroyed.
Those are the fake ones. The real ones are in some Nazi's house.
And get a load of this, guys. So people like Matt Taibbi obviously started to just freak out about this and act like it was the craziest thing ever.
Hold on, let's start. Let's go ahead. Everybody, the crowd wants to know, can we make a list of things better for these idiots to vandalize? How about your mom's bedroom?
Whoa!
And by the way, it's ironic too whenever people like this, quote tweet them and stuff, because that's the whole point. Like, obviously they're doing this to piss people off. That is clearly the point. They're doing something so provocative that it's going to make people quote tweet their official account and stuff like this. And here's the best part, right? So they put out this statement about how this isn't actually going to permanently damage Stonehenge, right? The rocks are going to be fine. You can go see Stonehenge next summer if you were planning on it. It's going to look the same. But as Community Notes pointed out, and then a bunch of other people jumped on this, there's apparently like I don't know if it's showing up here, but apparently there's like a colony of moss that lives on Stonehenge that's like on the rocks, this moss colony or lichens or whatever you call it. And apparently this, orange paint or whatever might endanger or damage some of the moss on the rocks.
Matt Taibbi's real concerned about the moss. So people all of a sudden,
they couldn't fearmonger or pearl clutch about the actual structure itself of Stonehenge. So all of a sudden everyone started pretending to care about moss and its health after being exposed to corn flour or whatever the fuck they sprayed on here. So I do admittedly have mixed feelings about this because I'm not sure if it is in any way actually making the climate protest movement look good. But it's also like, does it even matter at this point? Is awareness more important than optics? Are the two, meaningfully intertwined in a situation that's as dire as this is? What do you think, Griffin? I'm pretty interested in your opinion on these kind of protests.
Yeah, well, it's it's Matt Taibbi is going to be offended. He comes from a family of rocks and moss. And so those are his people. They not like us.
They not like us.
To put it bluntly, but it is funny that he's like Matt Taibbi's Twitter account could be there could be a sort of a face-off personality switch between him and Greg Gutfeld, and you wouldn't notice a difference. So
I still hope that Stonehenge is here tomorrow, everybody. I don't know.
The Stonehenge thing, we always see them hit, we see them nuke the Mona Lisa, or do everything, but for some reason Stonehenge was the one where people were like, I draw the line here. This is the one that is too far, and we are making a bad name for ourselves. And it's just I think that I saw even people who typically are pro climate change or whatever be like, this one is too far. And it's
dumbasses.
It's first of all, they're well, then some people are going to use this as anti-propaganda, and it's welcome to any protest ever, about anything.
There was a great tweet, and it was like this is bad for your movement, says bro who despises your fucking movement. Why would I listen to you, idiot piece of shit? Also, if you're just lurching towards it was the same thing with Black Lives Matter. It was the same thing with calling for a ceasefire immediately in the wake of 10/7, right? Or calling for a one-state solution in direct aftermath of 10/7, right? People would always say I believe in Palestinian rights, but this, I believe in right for black people, but this, I believe in climate change, but this. They're always lurching towards to be offended and out. Oh, well, this is just uncivilized, right? Okay, well, you ever heard of the Boston Tea Party? How do you think we get shit done in this country? You know what I'm saying? You got to raise a ruckus if you want to fuss. You know what I'm saying?
But on top of that,
that's how you spot a liberal that doesn't care about you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the left from the lib.
They're always going to do that. I was wanted to hone in though on the fact that I was shocked that there were so many liberal and lefty pro climate change people also complaining about this one, and it's just
it's the same thing. I'm a progressive, but I don't think we should say defund the police.
I'm even seeing people who are agree with me on 99% of politics. For some reason, this one was too much, and I just think for all those people who talk about climate change being existential and then being but actually we have to protect these rocks. It's didn't the aliens make these rocks anyways?
We don't fucking even know who made those rocks.
Who gives a fuck about these rocks?
They're literally rocks.
I also read a climate change story a year ago that was climate change is destroying Stonehenge. So it's we're just if you want to burn the climate, I think at this point every public monument and every piece of art should fear for its life. I think everything should and may
fear for my life.
Destroyed. I think that if you've played Final Fantasy VII, I think that clears a lot of this up politically. I just think it's even if those people come off as crazy or whatever, then the people who want to do the legislation stuff can be hey, I'm not that crazy, work with me. It's total bullshit that this is and also I saw some people be why don't they just attack the company building? And it was bitch, they did that and no one cared because that's just that's the wrong rocks. These are the special rocks, I guess, to you fucking people. And I'm sorry, we're taking away your rocks.
I think we take Easter Island next, and we do fucking hot pink paint next time. You know what I'm saying?
I say we take down the Rushmore I think we go for Rushmore next. I think we decapitate the Lincoln.
Well, Mount Rushmore is
Monument.
good because it's a mixed bag, right? It's also anti-imperialism, it's anti-racism, and
Let's keep all that to the side. Let's keep this about the climate.
well, who do we? Bro, you're not as woke as me. Excuse me.
It's an intersectional protest.
This is something that we could all return to our Native American roots. And as a person who is 132nd Cherokee, I've been to the res.
Anyone who voted for Warren in the primary gained a 30-second Cherokee blood.
I want to be the one that speaks for climate action. And I just think that we should use real pig's blood when we deface Mount Rushmore. Not just for the poetry, but because it's biodegradable.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think it's ridiculous for anyone to be shitting on these people. I think these kids are heroes. I see them doing this shit like every day now. They're like going hard. Most of them are going to go to jail for this. Most of the people complaining about it are sitting at home. Fuck off.
Yeah. It's
Bro, that's true.
dumb.
Those dudes are going to go to jail. Go ahead, Gavin.
Oh yeah, it's super dumb. And like, even if you were gonna take a trip to Stonehenge next fucking month or whatever, like you still can. It's gonna be fine. I have a feeling that you wouldn't have noticed.
But I know what, I don't want to promise that. I'm saying, watch out, motherfuckers. We might hit it again. Okay,
we're bringing dynamite. The other element of this that I did want to get your opinion on is I saw a couple people speculating that perhaps the whole what's this group called? Stop Climate Change or whatever, that this group is like a Fed, like a psyop. And some people were saying that like it would have been very difficult for these protesters to actually get to Stonehenge with the necessary equipment to carry out this sort of protest, because you have to like take a bus there. You can't, I mean, unless they just started walking through the like fucking, wilds of Ireland or wherever the fuck Stonehenge is, like it did seem a little bit, suspiciously kind of planned and organized. But I mean, I don't just want to go down the fucking tinfoil rabbit hole. Do you think there's any sort of legitimacy to that? Like, that it could be some sort of a fake front for climate change protest?
I mean, if it is, I think it's doing a great job at blowing.
Can I get in on that? Can somebody fucking pay me some money? I'll do an overnight, dude. I'll do it, especially in like a bourgeois town like Portland, Oregon. If you guys want to pay me to go deface some shit in Portland, Oregon, I'll go out there.
Just you guys run through the street.
You give me
naked
10 grand. Yeah, run buck naked and cover myself in fucking piss and vinegar, and then like lay down on top of a car that owns, some guy from Chevron. Was driving to dinner one night, a Michelin star place. I'll fucking do it. I'll do it. 10 grand, no problem. 2 of it's going to my bail, Gavin. I'll give you that in advance, no problem. And then when he picks me up, I'm never going back to Portland. What the fuck would I have going on there? Good luck if you think they're gonna find me in Kansas City. Dog the Bounty Hunter style, beating down doors. Have you seen this man? No, nobody recognizes me around here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know.
If anybody's listening, you can find my contact information.
If
I'm happy to debate.
I was already partial to being an eco-terrorist, and now the CIA is going to pay me. Sure, this is all good news.
I was, there was a time in American history where you might get just, plucked off the street, and some guy would be like, "Do you want like $500 every week?" And you just kind of do these errands for me, and you don't ever say that the government paid you to do it. And if you do, we'll deny it.
You got guys handing you money on the street for favors,
dude. Back in the day, you ever heard of COINTELPRO? You ever see?
Okay. I thought we were just talking about normal gay stuff.
Oh, come on now, bro. That's don't ask, don't tell territory, brother. You got to pay extra for that. That's pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? That's paywall material. This man's trying to go behind the red curtain for free. He didn't take his wallet out. This man's a cheap bastard. He's going to show you the outside of the club, not the inside of the club. Anyway, we got to get to... Speaking of boomers, we've done a lot of boomer content today. We've got a favorite boomer here on Circle Jerk America. His name's Bill Maher. Bill Maher. Gavin's favorite comedian of all time, through thick and thin. He's never wavered. He says, this man is the epitome of comedy. I remember when he first put us all on game.
Yeah,
take it away, Gavin.
Director of Religulous.
I was trying to think of the name of that, and I dropped it, and I was like, let me just pass the ball to Gavin. I was like, what the fuck's the name of that movie you like that he directed?
That's what I know Bill Maher as, the director of my favorite.
I remember whenever we first started talking about Bill Maher's politics, you'd be like, listen, man, back in the day, he was really spitting. And I'd be like, okay, right now he sucks.
Yeah, no, he what I liked about Bill Maher back in the day is that he at least would like say what other people wouldn't, but not just in the like right-wing contrarian sense, you know, like he originally kind of got canceled, quote unquote, for saying that like the 9/11 terrorists had like balls. Essentially, he was like, yeah, they you can't say they were cowards. You know what I'm saying? Like he would say edgy things, but it wasn't just like affirming whatever the fuck the right-wing culture warriors want to hear, which is sort of his shtick now. But it's funny because that's not enough to appease Donald Trump. Bill Maher, despite being a bit of a right-winger himself these days, he still has Trump derangement syndrome, guys.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
Donald Trump.
Bill for a while used to just kind of like, in the old days, he would hate Muslims in more of like a naive, oh shucks way. And like, just like one of those classic celebrities who like, just like, basically for the longest time, he was just a simple, dumb guy that paid prostitutes to pee on him. And now he's like, he got his like solar panels like uninstalled due to like the Los Angeles like local government, and then became a Republican.
Yeah,
and
take that,
like
Karen Bass.
If you watch Club Random, he complains about his solar panels and like how hard they were to get installed, like every episode, and that's basically what turned him Republican. And now, yeah, he's pretty indistinguishable from Fox. So let's see.
He really is. Other than he won't get on board with the MAGA era of the Republican Party, which is honestly pretty fitting for him as kind of a spokesperson for like liberal positions in the Democratic Party and stuff. Because I mean, what is the Democratic Party now if not the Republican Party from 2008? You know what I'm saying? Like they're now trying to campaign to get the votes of people who would have voted for John McCain in that election. So it's pretty fitting, I think, that Bill Maher has kind of made that pivot. But here's Donald Trump with some pretty harsh words of criticism.
Bill Maher, the highly overrated star of the ratings challenge show with the fake, loud, and obnoxious laughter pouring out of your set every few seconds, even when nothing was said that was funny, which is most of the time, suffers from a terminal case of Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. Republicans should stop using him as a reference point. His show is dead.
Dead. Speaking of death, dang, dead. Very hot outside, folks. Stay indoors. I know a lot of you are very close. I need you to hold out for 6 more months. I need it. I need everybody. If we're gonna make America great again, folks, you've got to live until November. Okay, let's make sure we. This is the debate I want to see. This is the debate night I want to see Thursday. Is I want to see Maher versus Trump and just have Trump just run roughshod over him.
Yeah. Also, is it even true that Bill Maher's show is like dead or whatever? Like, I feel like Bill Maher's still pretty relevant, unfortunately.
It's an election year, and like HBO just keeps like renewing his contract. So yeah, I mean, like in terms of like high production value panel shows that are still like not just on the internet, but like exist on some sort of like streaming platform, there really isn't a whole lot of things you can compare it to. Like, start to think about streaming platforms that have like big politics panels in like the studio level. That
I mean, there's like Piers Morgan, but that's not even in America.
But that's YouTube.
Yeah,
like that's basically a YouTube.
That's what
show,
I meant.
right?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like on YouTube.
Wait, so Piers Morgan's not on broadcast in the UK?
I don't think he's allowed back in the UK.
Good riddance. Yeah,
I think that's what
Brexit was rocks about. Across the
I think Brexit was about voting Piers Morgan off the island. They put out his torch. And he's like, I guess I'll go bother Charlemagne now.
Him and Simon Cowell both get off the boat together. They're in New York City.
Man, I love Simon Cowell. I just don't know what he did to his face. It's messed up.
I haven't seen Simon Cowell in like maybe 15 years since Carrie Underwood became the American Idol, but whatever the fuck that guy's up to.
Simon Cowell looks like tarnished, or like Forsaken, like in Dark Souls when you're hollowed. Yeah, not good. But
yeah, Bill Maher is funny. Like I said, he is unfortunately still pretty relevant, at least from what I can tell. Like, people
he's relevant.
react to him. I really do feel though Bill Maher is like when I listen to Bill Maher these days, when I hear him talk specifically off the cuff, it's one thing when you're listening to him do one of his like stupid new rules segments or like a monologue that's pre-written. But if you just listen to him talk off the cuff with someone, it's like listening to like if your uncle did a podcast. Like, I shit you not. Like, and not even in an appealing way. In the sense that you're just like, why the fuck are you even like why am I listening to this?
Hey,
like,
people in glass houses shouldn't throw stories. Hey, why the fuck are anybody listening to us talk for a second?
Yeah, but we're on YouTube. We're like fucking, shit talkers. Like, this is a HBO show, and you watch it, and you're just like, you literally are just like, you're just basing your political opinions on like your fucking Facebook feed and like the New York Times, or like a combination of the two. That's your only frame of reference.
I really don't think that Bill Maher reads the news. I think he like overhears things on sidewalks or something, and then like I guess yells at his like staff, and that's about it. Like, he really doesn't seem like he has a big awareness.
He was at the Playboy Mansion, and one of the door people kept bitching about this, and he thought he should address it on the show.
He started to get uninvited places. Like, I am pretty sure like he didn't get invited to like a Playboy Mansion party and like did a huge like thing
I thought
about
that was
it.
the Oscar. That wasn't the Oscar party.
There's been multiple things he's been uninvited to now, where it's like I think he just like creeps on like the 22-year-old women too much. It's like, Bill, have some class,
babe.
Like, there's
What's
like plenty of 32-year-old women here for you, Bill. Like, yeah, I don't know. Just his show is dead, like creatively, entertainment wise. But I do think that in terms of like Gen X people who haven't transitioned to consuming news on like a different platform, it is one of the last shows. Like HBO, HBO people watch it.
Yeah. There's definitely this like very specific kind of Gen X male who's like Donald Trump sucks, and I can't believe that he's president, but also, can you believe this wokeness? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's their whole personality. They hate identity politics, but they're also like, can you believe that the Republican Party would embrace Donald Trump? And that really is the Bill Maher viewer, at least from what I can tell.
It's like the modern day Chappelle bit, right? Where just waking up in the morning, just be like, whoa, would you believe it, Karen? It appears to me, or it looks as if the police are killing black folks like hotcakes, right? Like, it's like, oh, yeah, water's wet, dude. That's American politics for the last, like, fucking forever years.
Yeah, dude. Bill Maher is, he's funny. I will agree with you. I think it was you, Griffin, that said this, that, like, Club Random is pretty awesome because it's just like Bill Maher getting fucking hammered and being awkward,
smoking cigars, telling Steve-O to get a fucking bag of dicks. Yeah. Come back when you're hard, bro, and heavy.
Come back when you smoke big.
Sobriety sucks. Yeah, this podcast isn't for bitches, bro. Get fucked.
Yeah, being hardcore about weed is the coolest thing you can do. The thing about the Club Random show is it's like the funniest. It's basically every episode he burns a bridge with like the celebrity guests that he's on with. Like, there's just like a sense of tension and fear the whole time. And at some point he deeply insults them. And it's great. Like, I think it's why he didn't get invited to the Oscars. So I'm excited to see where Club Random goes. I'm excited to see the Vice collab with Club Random, Club Random Studios. Oh yeah, did you not hear Club Random Studios is working with the
Bill Maher and Shane Smith are doing a collab podcast, and God is dead. Everything that I ever hoped for as a young boy would be my future. Wow, maybe I'll grow up and I'll do a show for Vice. Maybe I'll be the first fucking, crazy guy from Vice to go out on the town and get drunk with all my friends and get paid for it. No, it's not going to happen. Shane Smith stopped footing that bill. He sold the company to Time Warner Cable, and all hell broke loose. He became a boomer. He started hanging out with Joe Rogan and Bill Maher down in Austin, Texas. I don't know what the fuck
Speaking
happened.
Of Joe Rogan, you should watch the Bill Maher appearance on Joe Rogan from a couple of years ago. It's one of the most awkward Joe Rogan interviews.
No vibing for 3 hours.
You know what I'm talking about? Bill just acts like he doesn't, like he's too good to be there. I'm like, you should be happy to fucking be on like Joe Rogan's show, bro.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No,
this is some sort of operation here. I didn't even get a blowjob in the waiting room. Where do I ash my
You need to work on your Bill Maher impression.
I don't have a Bill Maher impression. He's not relevant enough for me to hash that out. What do you think I'm looking in the mirror when I get out of the shower and
Practicing.
The woke mob. This guy. I don't even know. I wouldn't even know how to begin to do a Bill Maher impression. He's so forgettable.
Well, you gotta start with new rule, and you gotta roll. What's going on? Come on.
Griffin's from a generation of comics who had to think about something like that. I'm sure he's gonna trot out his Jerry Seinfeld and his John Belushi here in a second. His contemporaries, but the rest of us, we grew up in a different era. We grew
Zach
up in an era.
So proud of being like 3.5 years younger than me. It's like. It's listen, let's see what we both look like in 5 years on the show, and then we'll see who's laughing.
Griffin just wants everybody to know that he comes from a family of plastic surgeons. That's the business back in Orange County. If you want to get lipoed in a Vitamix, go hit up with the Griffin's family. Don't worry, he'll give you a $10 off coupon. You'll only have to pay $694 down.
I'm setting up the Patreon to have a Botox tier for all of us. Okay. I do have this. I wanted to transition, but unless we wanted to hit something else, I wanted to talk.
My last jab was that we were just going to use Griffin's last Christmas family portrait for the Botox tier advertisements. I don't know.
Let's get to something really important, which is Daily Mail video right here. Releasing old 9/11 footage. Now this is footage actually from like a 60 minutes.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the Natalie Portman thing. I almost started rapping. That's good that we connected these dots.
AI Portman thing was kind of a nice double parter. We can end there. But there was this 60 minutes, I guess, new expose releasing like the 9/11 footage.
They're just looking around the Capitol building and like the Washington Monument. He's like, this looks like a good spot. I think we could do some damage here. I'm
trying to play it right here. I think
I'll throw it up. I got it.
Let me.
Oh, okay, perfect. I think we did it simultaneously at the exact same time. How do we like this? We like this better. Let's go down here.
Oh, nice. Okay. Let's see what's going on here.
A nice phallus in the distance. That's good. Allah Akbar.
Wait. Oh no! Fuck! When you pause, it does that. That's annoying. Across from here, there's a tower whose name I haven't discovered yet. We haven't figured out the Washington Monument.
It's the first thing you see when you go to fucking Reagan Airport.
That's really funny. He's like, I don't no idea what this is.
The new ISIS video being recommended to us in the corner.
I just feel like if you're sending a guy to scout to bomb up places in DC, he should probably know the monuments before he goes. He shouldn't be like, go find the biggest things there and learn their names.
It's like the scene from Borat, just go over to fucking America.
I'm still playing it.
Okay, here, let me
back in.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the way that we will do it. He goes, what is that? What is that thing in the sky? Wait, is it not up anymore?
No, sorry. I've been going back and forth.
You're fucking up my video.
Well, I'm fucking up your video because you don't tell me when you're going to pause and not pause.
You're gonna stick it in.
The Capitol building is there. He found it. They're very good.
I mean, all the sites are so close to each other. He does
Look at how beautiful and peaceful America was without cell phones, Griffin.
Yeah, everyone was just living in the moment, doing handy-cam terrorist homework.
Do you think if you just mute the audio, we can play it for a while?
Oh, yeah. I'll just leave it going. Yeah.
There we go. Now we can kind of narrate this stuff.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. You read them. Get a map. Like, you got to get better spies than this.
Oh, here we go.
There's a reason why none of these locations were blown up.
Not successfully, by the way. That's for sure.
Not blown up. Yeah. Wait, did he call the Capitol the center of Senate members? Okay.
The center of Senate members.
So, yeah, he's going around. I mean, he's making a good point that
this castle is huge. Look, they have a chair. I've got the chair. It's literally Borat watching this guy. I'm sorry. We're going to get canceled for being racist. Sacha Baron Cohen's racist, not us.
Let's do, instead of doing Borat, let's do Bruno.
I've never seen Bruno. Gavin told me it was funny.
It actually is pretty good.
Bruno has funny moments, but Bruno is like deeply depressing and kind of on a downward slope the whole movie. And that's not very fun.
That is true. It doesn't have as much rewatch value, but yeah, the individual moments are pretty good.
Borat 2 was dog shit, and I'm never watching another Sacha Baron Cohen film after I realized this man's rude while ordering pizza. We don't fuck with them.
So, I mean, the last, the things that I have to say about this video are basically like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool stuff they're not showing us in terms of all the plans to do 9/11 and like all that stuff. Like, they definitely got a lot of loot. And
we greet you, the esteemed brothers of Washington, the American capital city. We come to do terrorism.
I'll do Bruno. Washington, American capital city.
I'll do the dictator.
Oh, this is the Congress. Very nice.
I mean, they clearly have a bunch of this stuff. They decide to release this strategically right now. I don't know if it's because they're mad at the Saudis. I don't know if they're mad at Assad. But they're mad at someone. They're deciding to put this stuff out there now for a reason. What reason?
A lot of people are asking in the chat, Griffin, what was 9/11 again?
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Keep
later.
bringing it up. If fucking another boomer quality of this guy, he keeps talking about something called the Twin Towers. I don't know, the Empire State Building. I don't know.
Yeah, what's a terrorist attack to someone like who was born in like 2010? Like the Justin Timberlake arrest? I don't know. What nothing cool has happened.
The world tour.
You should be proud that 9/11 happened to you.
And don't know who the fuck JT is, by the way. Griffin just dated himself again. He doesn't know.
Yeah. Anyway, this is pretty crazy. Did you want to talk about that Daily Mail AI article?
Oh yeah.
No one cares about the CIA video. Zach went on 5 tangents.
Everyone already knows that
people know Bush did 9/11. It was a meme when we were in high school, Griffin. Wow.
That's all right.
It's like the other day when we did our breaking news segment about like how Israel did 10/7, everyone was like, yeah, we already know. Like, I swear to God, our whole chat was like, yep, like, obviously. I was like, you guys can't be shocked by anything. Even I was shocked by this.
I mean, maybe would Tower 7 stuff, would that get you hard? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out,
We already watched Jesse Ventura watch that on this channel. No.
All right, then let's get to the Daily Mail article you guys care about, which is this AI article.
Natalie, to drink and fight. What you need, Natalie, to fuck all night. Don't text her.
You know that's pretty millennial.
In that bourbon, doing 120, getting ahead while she's swerving. Damn, Natalie, she's a crazy chick.
Oh, it's not even the right.
Shut the fuck up and suck my dick.
Yeah, so that's fucking. You're the biggest millennial on this show, Zach. If you know that rap, I'm sorry.
Newly single Natalie Portman is no stranger to playing the part of a smoker, and plenty of her previous acting roles have seen her character light up. But the habit, for people who don't know, this was written by artificial intelligence. But the habit appears to also feature in her life off screen, with the actor seen enjoying an occasional cigarette. Portman, now 42, was big into weed and cocaine while she was at college. She has admitted during her time at Harvard, she previously said, I smoked weed every day. I cheated every test and snorted all the yay. I got a deaf posse. You got a bunch of dudes. I'll sit right down on your face and take a shit.
Yeah. At some point, she also appears to have picked up cigarettes, although she has not spoken publicly about her habit, which is just reiterating something that they already basically
it's coming for your job.
No one understands what's going on because we didn't set this story up correctly. Zach just started reading it. So this is an AI written article. They basically did the Daily Mail.
Griffin is concerned because people come to a show called Circle Jerk America to get their news.
I'm just trying to put wind underneath your wings because right now we're plummeting. There's no context here. The Daily Mail hired a bunch of AI writers, okay, and they basically were like, we don't need real writers anymore. We can do this. And basically the AI just sucked in an SNL sketch and reported that as like her dating news and bio.
Yeah. I just took a bunch of fucking information that's like obviously not true that you could clearly, discern if you did real research. Which is the funny thing about AI is that like, yeah, you can fire a bunch of people and replace them with AI, but then you're going to have to hire a whole new workforce to like edit and tweak the results that you got from the AI to make it seem normal. So that's the new job. The AI is actually a job creator. It's creating the job of editing its bullshit output.
Right. You have to like just like fix the robot or whatever. I mean, it's like the thing is, I just think that this is going to start happening so fast, and I just don't think enough people are going to care. I think they're just gonna be like, that's fine.
I mean, the Daily Mail isn't exactly known for its quality of reporting.
Well, okay,
It's no circle jerk America.
Yeah, no, I do agree when it comes to these kind of articles. There's already, even in the pre-AI era, there's already this like industry of just writing like producing really like thinly written articles that have an ad break every paragraph where you'd have to see like 10,000 ads on the screen. It doesn't really matter what's in the article. Like the substance of the article is already not the point. It's just to make you click on it and then scroll through 10 ads. So yeah, who gives a fuck if it's AI generated? If you're the owner of one of these,
you're pro. You're like articles are over. Let's make them all robots anyways.
Who reads? That's so fucking.
I do see that as a take. That's interesting because like I remember that like I tried doing basically for, I was already way too late past the point where you could get paid any kind of living to do like internet articles about anything. Like there was like a hot couple of years where you could try to do that, and I was on the tail end where you just like couldn't make that money. And I remember like I got a job writing video game guide articles or whatever, where you're like, where do you get this like chest in this game or whatever? And it's like basically already like AI bullshit, like where like a human shouldn't have to write all these individual articles. Like there's no humanity to it. There's like such little value to it. It's like people should.
It's like what Gavin used to do for tasteofcinema.com. It would be like 10 films with unique color paletting, which was badass at the time because it was literally impossible to find anywhere to publish you. And we were like 16, 17. I thought it was badass at the time, but it was a very similar deal where it's just like,
10 movies that could never be remade.
Yeah, exactly. And they had a shitload of lists, and it was the Facebook model of just list material.
Yeah.
But like that is even like has some sort of perspective to it. Like you chose the movies and talk about why you chose them. Like a lot of the articles you see online, especially for like the gaming stuff I was doing, was literally like, where is the 6th Estus flask shard in Elden Ring or whatever? Just like humans shouldn't